The High Weald Dairy is found, as its name suggests, in the High Weald of West Sussex, just south of Horsted Canes. It's owned by Sarah and Mark Hardy, along with Mark's parents, Guy and Audrey, who have a passion for both cows and sheep's milk cheese.
We moved nearly 4 years ago. Where we currently are was a redundant grain store, and we've converted it into a state-of-the-art cheese-making facility. And we don't just make cheese from sheep's milk now, we also make cheese from organic cow's milk. And the organic cow's milk comes from the cows on the farm where we're based, so it doesn't travel very far at all.
This is the raw milk room. So on this side of the building, everything is unpasteurised. So all the cow's milk or sheep's milk will come in through this hatch here into the refrigerated bulk milk tank, which will keep it at 4 degrees until we need to pasteurise it.
Originally it was very difficult because people, when we did sheep's cheese, they had a yuck factor associated with it. They weren't used to having cheese made from sheep's milk. So initially you had to get over that.
Now there's a much more interest in local British food. That time there wasn't so much, there was interest, but not like it is now.
The media, it's good that they're saying eat local, eat traceable food. It is definitely helping. And it's making the consumer become far more aware of what's available. And some of the horror stories you get about very cheaply produced food.
Today the dairy is at full swing, making Ashdown Foresters, a soft and creamy cow's milk cheese. And as you can see, it's a full hands-on process.
This is the cheese vat in which we make all our cheeses. It takes 3,000 litres of milk. The warm milk is pumped into here from the pasteuriser at about 32 degrees centigrade. We then add the starter culture, and about an hour later we add a little bit of rennet, which will coagulate the milk. After the rennet's put in the milk, we leave it for about an hour, at which point it's solid. We then cut it into little 1 centimetre cubes. This separates the curds from the whey. At that point, we'll heat the curd and the whey up to about 39 centigrade over the period of about 2 hours. During this period, the cultures will work, convert the lactose in the milk into lactic acid, and it's the start of the main cheese making process. We will then tip the vat up and whoosh it all out onto the table here. So we have the curds and the whey all together.
The curds are then scooped out using plastic colanders. And because the Ashdown Foresters is not a pressed cheese, the whey drains naturally under its own weight, leaving the colander's distinct weave pattern on the surface. The whey then gets pumped out and is either used to make a ricotta cheese or is taken away by a local farmer as pig feed.
We make cheeses from sheep's milk. We make one called Duddleswell, which is a bit like a cheddar. We make halloumi, which tastes like bacon. We make feta, which we can no longer call feta, but it's like feta. We make ricotta. We make Sussex slipcot, which are soft cheeses, all from sheep's milk. From organic cow's milk, we make a very nice cheddar called Tremaines. We make one called St Giles, which is a bit like a Port Salut. We make Ashdown Foresters, which is quite mild and creamy. And we make a smoked Ashdown Foresters, and also we make cowslip. So we make quite a range of products, and these are available from local farm shops, delicatessens, farmers markets.
This is a Duddle, we call it Duddleswell, which is our sheep's milk cheese. It's matured for about 3 to 4 months, has a nice nutty flavour to it. We sell the cheeses either as whole cheeses for the cutting counters and the deli counters, or we can cut them up into these wedges and pre-pack them and label them up, put the weight on the back and the use by date, and then they can get sold to the farm shops, delicatessens, who don't have a cutting counter. So the Ashdown Foresters that we've been making today, you saw it earlier coming through the cheese vat. At this point it's been matured for 12 weeks. And the cheeses just mould up naturally in the cheese store. Before they're ready for sale, we'll grade them, decide that they're ready, then we'll wash the excess mould off, dry them off like this, and then they'll be packed and come in here ready for going out to the delis and the cheese shops.
I would say that farmers markets were very popular about 5 years ago, and then we were doing about 40 a month, but now we only do about 10.
I think what's happened with our particular cheese is we're available in a lot more shops. There's a lot more farm shops have opened up in the last four years or so. So people don't necessarily have to go to the farmer's market as much as they did in order to get locally produced food. So the market has sort of changed a bit, but there's still a lot of good farmers markets, but we do find the ones in the smaller towns do struggle because they're not supported well enough either by the stallholders, the farmers, and also by the local community, you know, who come in to buy there. Yeah, these are the Sussex Slipcut Soft. It's a fresh, soft sheep's milk cheese, and this we made this on Tuesday, packed it on Wednesday, and it's ready for sale today, Thursday. So it doesn't take long to make and mature, unlike all the other cheeses which take a minimum of 3 months. This is the cheese store where the cheeses are, once they've been made, they'll come in here and mature for anything from 8 weeks upwards to 5 or 6 months. And at least once or twice a week, less as the cheeses mature, they get turned. This is to stop the cheeses, to get an even moisture spread throughout the cheese, otherwise they end up with all the moisture down the bottom and a dry old bit at the top. We also gently rub them down just to keep the mould in control. The mould is just what naturally grows in the cheese store itself.
My favourite cheese that I'd recommend anybody to try would vary depending on the time of the year, depending on the cheese, but my favourite at the moment is Tremaine's, which is a delicious cheddar. It's not too strong, it's not too mild, but it's got a very nice, clean flavour. But if you want something different, the Duddleswell's very nice because that's quite sweet and nutty, made with sheep's milk.
It's a bit mild, a bit younger, isn't it?
Yeah. Or...
Well, my favourite is the soft sheep's cheeses, the Sussex Slipcut soft sheep's cheese. We do that as a plain one, herb and garlic, peppercorn, basil. My favourite at the moment is a new variety we've just started, which is a mint one, which is really fresh. Of course, sheep's milk and mint goes together really well.